guys, 1 second. Okay, so you should have out your answering the big question assignment. Some of you already turned it in, so I'm actually gonna return it back to you so you can still open it up. I know it wasn't graded, so there's no grade next to it. There will be by the end of today, because I'm grading all of these by the end of today. Today, we are looking at that assignment and revising it and making it better.
What are we looking at?
So go to the assignments for Monday and get out the one that's answering the big question. Now, a good chunk of us didn't ever turn it in. That's scary to me because that would have meant you would have got a 1. Some of you did turn it in though, so that was great. So we're gonna be on the Nearpod, but you'll also need your assignment out. Okay. Now on the Nearpod, we're gonna look at 2 student samples. One of these is from this class, and then one is from another class. The point is not to say, oh, who's that? The point is to see how we can improve ours. One of these student samples is okay. One of these student samples is very strong. So let's look at student sample number 1. This is not from someone in this class. Do I have someone that could read on the Nearpod student sample number 1? JZL, could you read what they said?
The Aztecs and Incas are the same. Both Aztecs and Incas had farming and used water. The Aztecs liked to kill people and had warriors. I think the Incas are better because they carved things on the mountains. Aztecs do human sacrifices too.
Okay, now I want you to think about what's strong about this response that a student did and what is needing some improvements on this response. Is this a good response? Okay, I know you guys are raising your hand, but I'm gonna have you write this in on the Nearpod. So on the Nearpod, I want you to, I'm sharing it again so you can see it, but answer on the Nearpod. What it says student sample 2, that's wrong. What is strong about student sample number 1? Is there anything they could do to make it better? Go ahead and write in your answer on the Nearpod for what you think. What's strong and what could they do to make it better? So someone said they could have added more evidence. They could have put artifacts. I agree with those. They could have made better evidence. Needs more writing. It doesn't explain why. Now, we all agree that it needs evidence from the artifacts. They never said in artifact A, it showed me. They didn't say that, and they should have. Also, does it make sense? Did they prove that the Incas and the Aztecs are the same? No, they did not prove that because look, they said differences. Everything that I'm highlighting on my screen is a difference. That does not prove that they're the same. So this did not make sense. This is not a good response. They did at least do it, so it's better than nothing. Now, I'm going to show you a different one. This is someone from this class. Student sample 2. Could someone read student sample 2 for us? Kara, go ahead.
Am I glitching?
No, you're good.
Okay. The Aztecs and the Incas have more differences because the Aztecs sacrifice people for their sun god and the Incas don't. At artifact F, it says, and he is treated like our most royal family member during the long year leading up to sacrifice. Aztecs treat their sacrifices like gods before they sacrifice, and Incas are free and don't sacrifice each other. Right, the other one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Aztecs and Incas have more differences because the Incas farm on mountains while the Aztecs farm on islands. In Artifact C, it says the Incas had to create flat land to crop since they lived in mountains. In Artifact D, it shows the Aztecs developed the in, indigenous system for irrigation agriculture. The Incas create crops on mountains called terrace since they live there, while the Aztecs form from on islands called chinampas.
Okay. Is this a strong response? Okay, Casey, Kara, Diana, Dara have their thumbs up. If I was to put my thumb, I'd put it up. This is a strong response. But specifically, why is it a strong response? Now, what is strong about student sample? And that should say 2. Is there anything they could do to make it better? Go ahead and write in what you think on this one. Here it is again. Go ahead and respond to that on the Nearpod. Someone said something about they had good evidence and the quotation. Yeah, the quotes are really awesome. You're not required to do quotes, but it just makes it better. More evidence. I actually think they have a lot of evidence. I'm not going to lie. They're actually really good on the evidence. They put it in paragraph. They explained it better. Yes. Anything else? Overall, it's good. You could have said they gave specific examples. They didn't say, the Aztecs and the Incas farmed, blah, 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 blah. No, they said the Aztecs used the chinampas. The Incas used the terraces. They told me specifics. Great. I think we all can agree student sample 2 is a stronger response. Now, this shows why student sample 2 is a stronger response. I want you to look at how I dissected this response. At first, what did they do? They restated and answered the question. Then they told me a reason. Then they used artifact F to prove that reason. Then they explained it. Then they did it again with their second reason. So this is a strong response because they did all parts of race. Remember, race is at the top, restate, answer, cite, and explain. Now, your job is to make yours a little more similar to that student's, but with your own ideas. So this is your checklist. You need to restate. You need to write 2 big reasons why they're different or the same, and then you just need to cite your artifacts to support. So what we're all going to go ahead and do is decide right now. You can see what every other student in 6th grade has put too. What do you need to change or revise in your own response during work time? Seeing these examples. Go ahead and put that in the Nearpod. And all revise means to improve something. Someone said more quotations. That's really good. Someone said make better evidence and write more. Someone said to add specific evidence. Someone said to have more words. Yeah, that's always good. Restate the question. Okay, we have a lot of good ideas. when you have written yours in the Nearpod, what you're going to do, I want you to open up your document and go to slide 14, read through yours and see what you need to change. When you're done changing it, you're going to resubmit it and I'm going to check it and tell you what you need to do, or tell you thumbs up, you're good, you're going to get a 4, you're doing great. And then you're going to do Quizlet. So go revise yours and then I'll check it when you're done. Tell me in the chat when you're done. Do I have any questions what you're doing right now? Okay, guys, go ahead and start working on yours on slide 14.